Yes guys, we are back finally with a different video other than an ERA Fortress, thank God for that. So today's video is going to be the GJ Locks Union Decoder, which is a plasticine kit for opening non-destructively Union locks 2134s, the Chubb version of it and the Yale version of it, which basically are identical in every single way other than colour. So let's give you a little bit of information about these locks. British standard, really easy to identify through the keyway. If you can see, the hard plate goes past the keyway like that. There's a little cutout in the notch at the top of the curtain, and it's the same the other side. Yeah, so the Chubb version is silver and the Yale version is grey, but other than that, identical. Not only will it open that, it will open the older versions. Can you see this? And this is one I came across over there. This is what made me do the video. Guy had a set of old wooden, like French doors, if you will. This was in. He'd lost his key. Wanted me to open it non-destructively. Obviously, most people do. So yeah, I got the kit out. It took me a while to open this, to be honest, because, well, we'll go into that later. But I did get it open using the kit, but it did take me a while. Easy ID. I mean, look at the stepped hard plate like that. Yeah, very easy to identify. I mean, these are similar to the Ingersolls, but you're not really going to come across them. Yeah, so basically it opens, well, 3, 4, 4 locks for the price of one, which I like to call value for money. So let's move on to the actual kit itself. So there we go, as we come to expect from GJ Locks. Ooh. What have we got in our snazzy box? We've got some basic instructions. Just open that up a little bit, just on about identifying them. As you can see, that's the older version. Talks about, the Chubb version, the Union version, and look at that, do it right the first time. Remember that when you're making your plasticine kit up. Do it right the first time. We've got our reader chart there, if you can see that. 1 second. You can see that there, reader chart. So if you can see there, lever number 1's not going to make any mark, and obviously everything else is self-explanatory. 6 and 7, very similar. Okay, what else do we get in the kit? Well, we get our makeup key, which is just same as the Fortress makeup key, so you drop the pins in. We've got our jig, which we come to expect from our plasticine makeup kits. Got our chart for writing down our lever numbers, and if I can just move this out of the way, you have 4 keys. The reason we have 4 keys is we have 2 left ones and 2 right ones. One for the 2134s, okay, and then if you notice, this one much shorter for the 2101s. Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about that. So the 2101s, there you go. So actually we open another lock with these. But to be honest, if you can't open the 2101s by hand, you shouldn't really be a locksmith, because they're probably the easiest 5-lever curtain locks out there to open, because there's no anti-pip notches, no false gates. They're a piece of piss. But it's handy. You still can use it on it, I suppose. If you came across one that's got a very sloppy curtain on it, where you can't really apply much tension, because for the older ones you do have to put a lot of tension on them. So I suppose it would come in handy for that, but we're not talking about today. We're doing the 2134s. So also we get our pin set. Right, so that's basically the kit that you get in the box. So we're gonna load up our our plasticine key, and then we are going to attempt to decode this lock. I've not decoded this one before. Obviously I've decoded this one. We're going to do that again, but we're going to do this one from scratch. So I'm not going to waste your time showing me doing the plasticine key, because you've seen that on the Viscount video. So bear with me 2 seconds while I load up the key. Right guys, there we go. So we've got our makeup key prepped. Sorry about that. You can see it's nice and uniform. See that? Yeah. So I'm just going to dab the end of it. I really need to get myself some talcum powder again, because I like to use talc. So we just dabbed it with a bit of spit, just to stop the levers completely sticking. So in we go, nice and gentle. Oh, very stiff. up against the levers, stop, turn, out, very gently. Oh yeah, they're lovely readings. Can you see that? There we go. So straight away, obviously the curtain and the bolt are on this side towards us. So if you're looking at that, that's the bolt mark, the curtain mark, sorry. So this is lever number 5. Okay, we can see how low down that is. So straight away we know it's probably going to be a 6 or a 7. Next to it, lever 4, there is no mark at all. So we know that's going to be a 1. Obviously that's going to be a 6 again. And these two little beauties are exactly the same. Trying to let you see them as well, but it's hard. Camera's being a bit funny today. But anyway, yeah, so we're going to go 6, 1, 6, 2, 2. I've noticed that 2s and 3s are quite similar when you're taking a reading. So let me just get my chart a minute. So we're going to go, obviously, lever 5, even though I'm writing backwards here. So 6, 1, 6, 2, 2. I know that 2s and 3s are very easy to mistake between each other. They give a very similar mark in my opinion. So we're going to go 3, 3, 6, 1, 6 as well if that one doesn't work. Okay guys, so let's give you one last look at the key just so you can see. There we go. And, you know, very nice, clear impressions then. So, I'm just going to pause the video a minute while I load the key up, otherwise we'll be here all day. So let's just make up the first key. So we've got the key made up there, so you can see, obviously we're working from the back of the pack towards the front. I've loaded it with 2 7s. They're irrelevant to the actual opening of the lock. These are just to engage with the curtain and keeps the key nice and tight together. So you can see we've got 2, 2, 6, 1, 6. I know it's reading back to front, but I like to have the lever order in the order I prefer. So we know that this furthest one here is actually lever number 1. That's why it's going 2, 2, 6, 1, 6 backwards, if you will, if you understand me. Sorry if I'm talking gibberish. Right, so what we'll do is into the lock, give it a turn. Hopefully I was going to get a bit of magic then, but no. So give it a few revs. So don't be shy about giving it a few revs. Right, so that one's not working. So we're going to move to the other chord, which is 33616. Okay. Right, so we've built up the second key, if you can see that there. So from this side, it's 33616, and obviously these are the blanks to engage with the curtain. So let's give this a little razzle. Ah, lovely. Very stiff turning it back, but that is obviously the correct chord for the lock. So we've got it there, 33616. Again, like I said, you see how stiff this is. This final turn here, I'm having to really force it. So yeah, this is sometimes better than a pick because you don't want to risk bending your pick and such. Okay, so what we're going to do is take this lock out. Okay, so we've got that one open. Let me just wipe off this chart. Wipe off this chart. We're going to put this lock in, okay? So this is one I came across, was it yesterday? I can't fucking remember. Yesterday or the day before. So this is the older version, 2234, with the stepped hard plate. So I know what the code is for this, obviously, because I opened it over there. So I'm just going to put away these key pins. Piss off, in fact, so I'll do that in a second. Yeah, I know what the code is for this lock, so I'm going to do what I did at the door, and then you can have a see how it is sometimes quite easy to mistake one lever for another height, if you will, okay? So let me just put this key pin shit away, and then we'll load up another plasticine key. Right, so we've got the other reader key built up. I know it's not the best, it's pretty scruffy actually that, but it'll do for all intents and purposes because obviously I know what the code is. So obviously this is a left mounted lock, so this was how I come across it, and you can obviously tell by that by how weather worn it is in the lock. So into the lock, turn, nice hard press against the levers, back out, be very gentle. Okay, now see, this is exactly what I came across on the lock. Oh, I mean, look at them faint notches. Very, very, very faint indeed. It almost, well, I'll tell you what the code is. So let me just write this down so you can see. So the code was 22131 in the end. Okay. So it was 22131 reading from my side to the back. I don't know if you can, but can you see there? That's about the best angle I can show you. So you can see the levers 1 and 2 had just nicked it, 2, and obviously lever number 3 and 5 there's no mark. So obviously they were 1s, but lever 4, look how similar that is to a 2. Yeah. So it took me absolutely ages to get this lock open because I tried that many different permutations. I'm thinking, what's going wrong here? But it was actually only when I got the lock home, because obviously the guy gave me the lock, so he had no longer use for it. Once I'd undone the screws, opened the lock up, about 3 of the levers were like basically stuck together. So even if you was trying to pick it, they weren't coming apart. So I've had to literally lube it up, just so the levers can move freely now. So that's probably why it took me so long to get the lock open, because I think I had the right code after about 3 attempts, but obviously the lock didn't open. It must have been because I was loosening the lock and freeing it, because I don't know how long the guy had not opened the lock in. But yeah, it was really, really frustrating, because I'm thinking, well, I've got the readings right. Surely there's only so many permutations it can be, you know, between 2s and 1s and 3s. But yeah, anyway, I got the lock open, so I'm presuming it was a combination of me not reading it correctly and the fact that the lock had, you know, not seized up, but had, you know, become pretty tough inside. So we're just going to load this key up now. So what we're saying, 22131. And we're actually going to attempt this without having to put the blocker plates in, so because I have loosened the lock up. So there we are, 22131. So let's just pop this pin in. There we go. I mean, technically you should put the other 2 in just to strengthen it up a bit, but we'll just give this a little razor turn, pull it towards you. There we go. Lock's done now. But yeah, it took me fucking ages to get this open. So yeah, that's just a few of the little troubleshooting tips. You know, if you're thinking, why is this not reading correctly? But when you look at that, there's only actually so many possible combinations it can be. You know, it's impossible to get the 1s wrong because they don't leave a mark. So everything else, as long as you can get it between, oh, it's this lever or that lever, but you know, between 2 levers, you're probably going to have to make up a maximum of what, 16 keys, if you think of it that way. Because bearing in mind that 3 and 5 are going to be the same anyway. Yeah, I think 16 keys is the maximum you'd have to try. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed me prattling on. It's a little bit something different. Yeah, good investment, because these locks are everywhere. Anyway, guys, take care, keep safe, and I shall see you next time.